My plan was to talk about media reinvented, but since most of you are marketers or marketing experts, therefore I changed my PPT on the spot. I'd like to talk about this topic, VR the last screen, instead of VR media reinvented. You've heard about VR frequently recently. Therefore, everybody has this vague idea of a virtual reality, but what is VR in essence? If you go outside the door on your right-hand side, there is this VR experience booth. You can experience it firsthand, because without experiencing it in person, you cannot grasp the essence of this technology.
Okay.
Have you watched Star Trek, an American blockbuster movie? It's an American TV show. 20 or 30 years ago, there was this concept. The room you entered into could become any world you want to get into. So the product we developed, VR, originated from that concept. We turned sci-fi concept, which is 30 years ago, into a reality. This is their concept. You entered into a room, it turned the room into the world you are imagining about. Now everybody talks about VR. The industry is not a new industry. The technology has been in existence for 5 or 6 years. But what you see on the screen is commercially viable at the moment. They are mature technologies. That is to say, concepts that were purely imaginative are now becoming a reality. If I may show you a short video clip to give you some idea of what VR is, probably the only thing you should remember is what VR is.
Filming you in the green screen studio is just the best way we found to help everyone else understand what it's like to be in VR. Any questions?
Can I go first?
All right, go crazy.
他们在用的就是我们这个产品就是把你要那个手柄，你进去它这个环境里面呢，它就会环绕你，基本上。
If you put on this gear, people around you find you're not interacting with anything real, but once you put on that goggle, you feel everything in front of you is real, and you can even interact with these images. For example, you want to shoot, and then you pull the and you can even experience the deep ocean scenery. Or you can work in a virtual kitchen. This is pretty lengthy. I will not finish the whole video. Now I think you are beginning to understand what VR is. I still recommend you to give it a try. It's to your right hand when you get outside the room. We're in the era of a technological revolution. About 30 years ago, the PC revolution first emerged. Around 1980, IBM launched the first PC. And over the past 3 decades, the PC has penetrated in everybody's family and workplace. About 10 years ago, we saw the emergence of smartphones. In 2007, iPhone launched its smartphone model. And ever since then, everybody benefited from smartphones. And this year, in 2016, Vive, this is a new project recently launched. And we've got three major launches of VR products. And our company has the first launch out of the three. On April the 5th, we launched this product simultaneously in 25 countries together. And now we're having this large shipments to our customers all over the world. So in terms of execution, nobody can compare with us. Starting from the product launch news release in the first half of 2015, nobody but us has won this widely acclaimed award by the whole industry. Some are wondering, how about some cheaper version gadgets? Let me show you the performance of our product. It's way better than these cheaper makeshift arrangements. Now we have a better interactions by comparison with Google's card box. They use a paper box and put your screen in it and use your mobile phone screen as the screen, and you interact with it. You can turn your head to the left, turn your head to the right. We call it rotational VR. Another model is a seated VR. You sit in your chair and use a controller. This is the seated VR model. And the third
model provides you with the most complete experience. It's called room scale or positional VR. And we are the only company that is able to provide such experiences. No matter how big the room is, you will feel that you are immersed in a virtual room. A walk in the virtual world is the same as a walk in the reality, in the real world. Many people say that I don't have a big apartment in China. How can I use your product? Our product can provide seated VR and rotational VR as well. So if you have a space that goes 1.5 by 1.5 meters, you can use our product. But if you have a space of 5 by 5 meters, it will provide you with the most optimal experience. A video of a user using our products, you can see that she is moving like as if she is playing tennis in the real world. You don't need to teach the users how to use the system. It is a very natural thing. We are at a crucial point when we see the beginning of a new era. And you are experts on marketing. You need to think about the possibilities that the new era is going to bring to you. I sincerely hope that after seeing this, you can think about how you would use such a platform and such a media. The two revolutions, be it PC or smartphone, they disrupted all industries. They changed the lives of everyone. I believe that in your home, you have a PC, and in your pocket, you have a smartphone, every one of you. But you need multiple screens. For example, you need phone, a TV, and a PC. But in 5 years' time, you can get rid of all these screens. Many people say that your first screen is the TV screen, the second is the screen of the computer, the third is the screen of your smartphone. But when you get a VR system, you don't need any screen. You can put your computer in your virtual world. It can be as big as you want. You can interact interact with it any way you want. You could also have a virtual phone in your virtual space. You can make calls, you can see messages. You don't have to take off your headset. This is a video of a user using our VR system. He can choose content from the interface. He can choose a game that was popular in PC many years ago. So he doesn't have to play video games that only works on VR systems. You could have access to tens of thousands of games that could run on PC. Now, next video is a user-made video. It shows how it feels to get a message or get a call. Someone sent him a message and decides to reply to him. So he looks at the message, clicks reply, and he chooses reply. I'm now using my virtual reality helmet. He presses send. You can also call the person. So he could point at anything that in the virtual space with the handles. This is a very different experience. You don't have to rely on such a small screen. Because of smartphones, our eyes and our necks are heavily strained. But thanks to the VR system, you could have a more natural way of interacting with your machines. Now let's move on to the TV screen. If you have a VR system, your room is like a stadium. You don't have to rely on TV. Last weekend I was in the United States and I watched a football match by the Seattle football team. I had a good box, but my view was limited. If you have virtual reality cameras, you could, if you have virtual reality headsets, you could choose any position in the stadium. This completely changes the way you watch news or sports games. Let's talk about a bigger screen, cinema screens. Many people would watch a movie every week or every month. They believe that the experience is very good, and such experiences cannot be realized at home. But with a VR system, you could sit anywhere in the virtual cinema. You could sit in the first row or in the last row, and you can have as big a screen as possible in the virtual cinema. So maybe in 5 years' time, theaters will go extinct, or they have to rely on other ways to attract users. Last week, we worked with Wanda Cinema and Disney on a joint project. We transformed 50 of the most popular cinemas of Wanda into cinemas that support virtual reality, and it could show video clips of the Jungle Book using VR. People would line up hours to experience this. So I would like to encourage you to experience Vive right outside. Maybe you want to buy it right after your experience. You can buy them online. When you go to movies, you see that the experience is really good, and you can use our VR to watch films. We also work with game studios as well as many other creative agencies. We work with many filmmaking companies because they're very interested in virtual reality films, be it short films or feature films. So we're going to see the launch of these films in a few years. Now this is a video clip of the Star Wars, and Disney Lucasfilms worked with us and created this game. You could use your handle and it could be turned into a lightsaber, and you could use it exactly like you would use a lightsaber. Such an experience will transform you into any character that you want to become in the movie. What is this experience? This is in collaboration with Ubisoft, a Canadian-French gaming and software company. They created Paris based on what it looked like 100 years ago, and it could turn into a bird and fly across the city. You could experience such amazing flight, and you could learn history at the same time. You could learn physics, you could learn geography as a kid, and this is a completely different from your experience of learning from a book. I gave you examples of collaboration with foreign companies, but in fact there are a number of Chinese developers that were involved in 3D or VR content. A recent collaboration with a VR content contest, and in a month we had submissions of around 800 developers. Next month we're going to announce the winners of the VR contest. The teams might not be as strong as the teams in the US or Europe, but the final content turned out to be fabulous. We had a number of gaming examples. Many people believe that VR is just another type of a gaming console, but that is not correct, because many developers, or at least half of them, are not involved in gaming. They are involved in experiences, content, or video or tools. Games, VR games come out the easiest because you could use existing models of games and turn them into 3D virtual world. But if you look at such an experience, you can get to know the inner workings of a human body. You could use the VR system to get inside the human head and see what's inside the brain. That is impossible in a computer. So you're not looking at a screen. You're able to put your head inside his body. You could see his skin, his heart, his bones, etc. This is really good way to learn medicine. If you want to become a doctor, if you want to study biology, such systems can be very helpful and useful. And from a business perspective, it can be used widely. We are all marketing experts, and this is an application of VR in business. These are houses yet to be developed, but 3D models were created. You could use a VR system and walk inside this 3D model. You could change the color of the wall and the floor, so you will decide whether you want to buy this property or not. You can experience it first and decide whether you want to buy it or not. You could set the time in the VR space so that you could know how it feels during sundown or during sun up. Another example would be our collaboration with Audi. They could create 3D models for any of their cars, and users could interact with such 3D models. Last week, I started to talk with an e-commerce site. Often you would have a 2D screen, and there is a button. When you press the button, it will turn into a VR system. You would feel that the products are right next to you. You could see them vividly, be it a kind of Coke computer or a PC, and you could interact with these virtual objects. Well, you can do more than seeing, looking. You could build these virtual objects. This is an example of a video created by Infinity. This is a 360-degree video. It looks a little bit strange because you're looking at it from a 2D screen, but if you have your helmet on, you are surrounded by this whole video, and you are sitting in the driver's seat. You could hear the sound of the car engine. You could experience this driving on the road when you buy this car. Another easy adoption would be its adoption in the tourism industry, because the tourism industry would like to sell you this perfect concept. They want you to relax and have fun in their property. So if I could use VR systems for you to experience your stay on the beach or in a hotel or in a helicopter, you might have to pay tens of thousands of yuan, or you would have to get in a plane and fly 10 hours to get there. But with VR system, you could have access to these experiences in a matter of seconds. So you can sell travel packages through VR, or after whole days of work, you want to take a rest, you could put on a helmet and suddenly get into a new place with new experiences. This was in the F&B business. I discovered a video about the use of VR by F&B company. They're not creating content, but they did a helmet. So if you buy a VR helmet, it will cost you thousands of yuan at least. But if you have a cost of several yuan, you could create a cardboard glass, and when you put your phone in the cardboard, you could experience very simple VR experiences and environments.
所以 VR 其实不只是一个新的技术，它真的是一个新的媒。
VR is more than a simple technology. It's a new media. It creates new opportunities for the advertisement players. In the past, you base your advertisement on the 2D dimension, but now you can base it on the 3D or the totally immersive format. Future is perfect. In 2007, Steve Jobs launched Apple's iPhone, and he said, "You are welcome to the post-PC era." And starting from 2016, I'd like to say, welcome to the post-mobile era. And 5 years down the road, you understand what I mean by saying this, the post-mobile era. Because in 2017, nobody understood the significance of the post-PC era. And in 5 years, you fully understand the significance of the post-mobile era. In 5 years' time, nobody will look at their computers, their mobile phone displays with their head drooping low. You put on goggles and helmets. It unveils in front of your eyes a brand new world, and it helps unleash your imagination. Please join us in creating this new future. The VR helmet will not be as cumbersome as this one. This is not transparent, but in the future you see a transparent product like the one appeared in our video clip, and you enjoy all the benefits demonstrated in the video clip. For those interested, please scan this QR code. There will be more information about our products and possibilities. Any questions from the audience? The chairperson says I've got 5 minutes left if you have any questions.
好，大家害羞没关系。
I have a question. Does your product go with the mobile phone or not? We have different VR models. The cardboard approach needs to use your mobile phones, but our helmet has to be connected to a high-end PC. Only a high-end PC is capable of creating a virtual world that feels so real. The low-end computer, low-end PC, or simple PC cannot support such sophisticated need for authentication, image authentication. But in the future, when the VR gadgets are as sophisticated as a high-end computer, then that will be fine. What about the market price of your products? You can access our official website for the product price information, HTC Vive.com. At the moment, 6,888. Thank you. This is a free commercial. Thank you. Our business model, two streams of our revenues. First, hardware. Revenues from the sales of hardware. But we've got a second source of income. We have this content shop. It involves over 5,000 developers who are developing content or producing content for our gadget. For example, iOS App Store or Google Play Store. So we have this second stream of our revenues. So content developers, they develop for us, and their products are for sale. No content is free. Say I buy a TV, but I still need to subscribe to IPTV or cable TV, set-top box, and subscribe to a service. At the moment, there's some free content out there, but if you're looking for something really sexy and cool and new, you need to pay. For example, you want to watch the recent blockbuster movies, then you have to pay the film ticket and go to the cinema. VR is the next generation of mainstream media. The current business models of the current media will also apply to this new type of a media. I experienced your product outside. It's really cool. My question is, in terms of a customer experience and market research, how can I use your product? For example, the demo. How can we find this combination between our need for market research, build up a customer experience, and the capabilities of your product? How can I demonstrate the content? Is there a process facilitating using your media to do customer research, market test, and so on and so forth? Well, this product is known for its immersive experience. It ushers into a virtual world which is not inexistent in reality. So what your customers gonna see and feel will be so real. After you ask that customer to put on the helmet, they can experience firsthand what they are going to experience in the future. As for what types of content go well with this approach, two types. Computer-generated CG content. Use 3D model. You set up a 3D model and have a 3D engine. These existing 3D engines, it's a world-building engine. We're saying soon gamers will benefit from this, and game developers will quickly get onto this platform because they're so accustomed to the 3D game development over the past 20 to 30 years. The second type of content that go well with this technology is the 360-degree video. As long as you have a camera, sometimes it has 2 or 6 or even 16 cameras. After you take a shot and process it, and you can turn these images into a virtual world. If you are really demanding the film level quality, if you're talking about the blockbuster level of imaging, then the cost will be 2 or 3 times the current production cost of blockbuster movie. But if you're not that demanding, you're looking for a tourism promotional materials, you do not need to control your cameras at all because your camera is 360 degrees. You just put it somewhere, or you can handhold it, and ask your customer to experience it. It's all about how your directors are gonna control the angle, because the director determines from whose angle, from whose perspective your customers are going to see that world. I think time is running out. Do I have time to answer the last question? What is your most important competitive advantage in the area of virtual reality? How do you make sure you stay ahead of your competitors? How can we maintain our competitive edge? Though at the moment we enjoy this obvious advantage over other competitors. The other major competitors, the fundamental technologies are different from ours. The scalability of their technologies is rather limited by comparison with others. Our American competitor does not have any production background or manufacturing background. They plan to ship March, but their shipment has been delayed till August because they lack manufacturing and production experience. Well, HTC is known for high-quality hardware production and software. We've been doing research into this area for a long time. The reason we didn't commercialize it was because of market considerations. Before I showed up on the stage, I talked with a journalist, and he asked me this question. After using the mobile device-supported VR, he felt dizzy because these makeshift models are not perfect, are suboptimal, and it goes against the ergonomics. But for my company, we spend hours and millions of dollars into creating this real experience. You do not need to go outside. You just stay indoors and experience as if you're in the real world. You can see and feel, and you feel so comfortable. You can wear our helmet for several hours without feeling any discomfort. So what determines success or failure in the marketplace is not hardware. As long as you are patient enough, the other competitors will soon catch up. But we have the advantage of developing an ecosystem. We are the rule and the game rule setters. We have the advantage of time. If we set up an ecosystem and accumulate enough number or critical mass of developers, YIOS and these successful models benefit from the ecosystem build-up, and they have content developers contributing best quality experience and best quality content. So it's not like the HTC has the best hardware at the moment, and over time this advantage will decline. No, that's not the case. It's because we have the advantage of time. We can start building up the ecosystem, and that is a more difficult thing for our competitors to copy. Thank you.